What's going on? What's going on, folks? Blessings and favor. Happy Memorial Day to you. And welcome to yet another episode of OurCinema. I'm your host, Jarrell the Griot, and y'all already know what time it is. This is the show where we're going to highlight some of the most prominent black films there was. And we might even get into some unsung gems that, folks might not even heard about or experienced before. So, that's what we're going to do. And as I say every single week, I'd rather show you than tell you. So if you ready, I'm ready. Let's go. Tell them what it is, man.
Throughout time, we paved our way in history. Creative minds showing you how it's supposed to be.
Come on.
This classic.
Sing it.
Ooh, yeah. Talk about it.
Talk about it.
You know it's all about spreading love through our songs. Our cinema. Our cinema. Our cinema. Our cinema. Our cinema. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, you know we're going to talk about it.
Our
better act right. You ain't seen this. OurCinema. It's for the culture, baby. All right, so look, check this out, folks. As you know, every week we coming back with another dope black film, and this week is no different. So check this out. We're going to take it back to the time. Let's go back to 1991. And around this time, people was making so many different biopics about amazing musical acts throughout the early 60s and 70s. Well, this one is special. You're going to figure out why when we start talking about the 1991 classic, The Five Heartbeats. Let's talk about it. So this movie is set in the early 1960s, right? We got this quintet group. It's roughly based off the Temptations, but guess what? A lot of people don't even realize the Five Heartbeats were not a real group of the 60s. This was I would consider almost a spoof film, written and directed by none other than Robert Townsend. I bet you didn't know that Keenen Ivory Wayans was actually a writer on this movie as well. He was supposed to get involved with the direction of the film and the production, but had to go do a living color. So we're going to talk about that a little bit more later on when we have our guest in. So as I said, though this group was not a real group, though this is not a actual factual biopic, this was a movie that depicted so many obstacles that music artists during that time had to face. I mean, they went through racial issues. They went through, personal battles with, internally with family, just the overall cutthroat way that the music industry moved in that time and was literally stealing artists' creativity and intellectual property and all that good stuff, man. I don't know. I feel like, I was torn simply because I am a firm advocate of historical movies, like whether it be historical fiction or not. And I feel like that might have been one element that I might have wished was turned up a little bit more. Like maybe they would have, I don't know, been involved in some things that were historically happening during that time. I don't know, but it was a subpar film to me. I do appreciate the fact that, there once again a whole bunch of black actors. We got Leon, we got Robert Townsend, and Leon was actually in a couple music biopics, if you will. But like I said, it was okay. It was a lot of drama. It was super long. It was about 2 hours. 2 hours and some change. Definitely feel like you should still go experience it if you have not, but not in my favorites. All right. But we're going to talk to a guest later on that this is probably one of their favorite movies. So we'll see what it was about the movie to them specifically that got them so wound up. Because personally, me, I didn't see it. But there were some really cool scenes that had this movie, especially the music. And like I said, though the movie or the group was not factual, this is not real people. So this is not technically real music that was released. But there's some great stuff. So just a couple of little touching moments that kind of raise your emotions a little bit, that kind of keep you plugged in. Because as I said, this was a pretty long film. Pretty long. Robert Townsend was like, I'm giving y'all all these words, all these scenes, and y'all gonna like it. That's how it's going. But as I said, this ain't about me. This ain't about me because this is for the culture. This is about everybody. This is about learning and enjoying and appreciate the prominent films and some of the uncut, unsung gems. And this is definitely one of the most prominent films of its time. So I had to get somebody on here to talk about it with me that's really feeling it, that was really connected to this movie. All right, so we got a super special guest coming up. I came and brought my sis in to talk with me about this film, and y'all about to meet her right now, so stay tuned. What's going on, folks? Welcome back. So, y'all already know what time it is. We got another special guest. You know, every episode I got to bring on somebody that's dope, and this person does not, she exceeds expectations of dopeness, if I do say so myself. I call her my sis because I grew up with her. She been practically raising me since birth. All right. But aside from that, she got a whole little cool situation going on. She's a creative as well. So we're gonna talk about all that later. But without further ado, let's bring on my sis, Caprice Robinson. Yo, what's going on, sis? What's up with you?
Nothing much. I'm excited. What's up with you?
I mean, I can't call it, man. I'm happy to have you here. You know what I'm saying? I told you that we was gonna get you on here. We did it. It's happening.
You did.
In a little bit, you know, we was scheduling wise. It was getting messy and murky, you know. But we here. That's all that matters.
You made it happen. You made it happen.
Absolutely. So I guess before we get into it, like you can give them a little brief, telling them about yourself and your life and all of that good stuff, man.
Well, let's see. I'm Caprice. My friends and family call me Peace. I'm a makeup artist. I'm from PG County, Maryland. Born and raised. Let's see. I'm 27. No. Okay. I'm 39. And like Jarrell said, I'm a creative, so I'm excited for this opportunity. Millions upon millions plus one are going to see this because we're in the Griotsphere.
Hey man, don't gas me up. This is about you in the culture. Don't give me.
I'm not gassy. Gas is $4.54 right now. I don't have time for that. I don't got the money for that. I'm serious. Everybody can see this.
All right, man. As y'all can see, she's also the resident comedian of the family. You know what I'm saying? If anybody, but my cousin, they are like a tandem unit. Y'all will get to meet her in another episode. But yeah, bro, we be rolling that family dinner. That's all I got to say. Yeah. But we here for a different reason right now. We could shoot the shit all day, but you know, we here today. You feel me? And we here today to discuss a movie that is very close to your heart, as we know. We talk about the 5 Heartbeats. Now,
5 Heartbeats.
When did you first gain so much love for this movie? Like, what is it about it for you?
The first time I saw the 5 Heartbeats, I was in South Carolina on summer vacation. So I was like 9 or 10. Okay. It was on VHS. You know, little tech. Do you know what a VHS is?
Oh, come on, Slim. Come on. Don't act like I'm not in that age bracket.
That's how long ago it was. It was on VHS. I had never heard of it. Like, I didn't even know that it was in the movies or anything.
Yeah.
But I was at my cousin Ebony's house, and her mom put the VHS in, and I'm watching it. And it's like, oh, man. Because I've always connected with old school music, you know, right. 60s, 70s. That's my favorite era. So I was like, oh, man. And just one part in the movie that just sealed the deal for me. That's when they're at the Apollo, and they were getting booed. And then Eddie Kane came out. And then he hit that note. And I was like, oh, man. I was hooked from there. I watch it every time it come on, part for part. I love it.
Man, that is crazy. So like, was it just the 5 Heartbeats, or well, I'm asking this for the people, but I know personally that it doesn't stop there. Like you into all of the musical biopics that are depicting that time.
So 5 Heartbeats, What's Love Got to Do with It, Frankie Lyman Story, all those are my favorite, except for Dreamgirls.
You
That
wasn't
for
feeling Dream?
something about Dreamgirls, I'm like, The
Was it too?
Temptations. Oh my
Was
god.
it was? I feel like with Dreamgirls, I think a part of it is it probably came out too late. Like we was in prime time of movie making when they was putting out the other ones that you named. They had really high, and not to say that Dreamgirls didn't have high caliber talent, because Jamie Foxx, Eddie Murphy, but I think it was an era.
That might be why I'm not into it as much. It was too many big names, and it made it. The other ones like Sparkle. These are like, these people are on their way now, but it was a project that came together a little more genuine. So I'm not looking at Beyonce on stage. I'm looking at, the character.
I feel that. Well, think about it. Halle Berry was in Why Do Fools Fall in Love? Frankie Lyman Story.
Yeah, and Vivica Fox.
And Vivica Fox. And they was popping at the time. Well, I think that was a little bit earlier in Vivica's prominence. I think she was Vivica by then. I'm not sure. Yeah.
But anyway, that was probably at the bottom of my list, though. Probably,
I feel you.
At the bottom.
Yeah. So I think with the 5 Heartbeats, it was cool, but I wouldn't put it at the top of my list for
Nobody does. I feel like I'm the only one that's like, the 5 Heartbeats.
But that's why we had to do it. We had to get you up
5 Heartbeats is a classic. It is. It just is.
So what is it about the 60s and 70s that is so appealing, so attractive to you?
I think the writing is better then. The talent was definitely better.
Okay.
No shade. I think they were just singing, and they didn't have all the technology we have now, and the notes were more pure. It's like when you listen to these records, like, dang, these people can sing, and you're not even focusing on the person up front. The background is just as bad as whoever's in front. And I think the words, my love language is words of affirmation. So the words and how they said them in songs, I'm like, that's so pretty.
Ain't that's just beautiful.
That's beautiful. Especially now, it's so vulgar. It's so straight to the point.
You like the lovey-dovey. You like the lovey-dovey. I can understand that. Is it so when it comes to that time period, is it just the music, or do you like, just the culture in general, like the style? Was you trying to dress like Coretta Scott King in real life? Like if that's
but I think the fashion is kind of cool. Mm-hmm. I'm not trying to duplicate it, but I just think that like Motown and Detroit, how all this talent just came from one era, and it was one area, and it was like kind of meant to be almost, and just a different time. Yeah, I like I'm in love with the whole story of how they went to school together and met up outside and was singing doo-wop on the corner and met this person and Berry Gordy and Motown and traveling through different stuff. I also like civil rights era too. So
that's where I connect the most in terms of like
so
that
them
era.
To go through the Chitlin circuit and all that to find their audience, and I love all that.
And then facing like the adversity that I think that's in all of the stories. Like I even think about like Ray. Ray's one of my favorite movies.
I don't know how you mention that.
You know what I mean? And it's like watching because you. I think for me it's the historical context of the movie. It's like they were doing this and being this great and achieving these goals in a time where we wasn't supposed to be doing none of that. And the other side, if you will, couldn't deny what they was bringing to the table.
It influences every other genre of music. And the history part, definitely. I'm just like, I like history. So, and it's funny you mentioned Ray and that I did not mention Ray. I used to watch Ray every day, all 3 hours.
like when you say that, you mean like passively, or you mean like I'm sitting down watching this movie?
I sat down and watched Ray every day.
For what? Like
I just liked it. It was the music really movie, again. The acting was great. Even the what do you call it, wardrobe. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
man, I feel
Mm-hmm.
like this is that time frame.
Yeah,
I
they
used to
did a
watch
really
the
good job.
Temptations too every day. I was in high school. I used to watch the Temptations every day.
Wow. So it's just like you just had a long term since that first time. So was Five Heartbeats the first of that kind of movie that you saw?
Yeah, it was the first, but I didn't know what it was then. Like I didn't know I would have a love affair with this type of music and this type of movie.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah.
but
It
yeah,
just
that's
it
definitely
just
one of my
so it
favorites.
just compounded basically. It started with that and then it
Yeah,
just kept growing.
yeah,
Wow,
yeah.
that's so organic. Like that's like a real organic like for the culture moment. Like
It
that's
is.
yes,
It
man.
really is.
That's in our segment at the end for the culture. That you just gave me a couple more points because it's like the authenticity of
There
starting
you
someone's love for the
go.
60s and learning. Because I feel like that's one thing that's missing with just the generation today in general, and why I think this show, when it gains capacity, why this show's gonna be cool and important, because there's people in the millennial age group that either missed those movies or gotta recall those movies. There's people prior to like our parents that saw the jump, but have oh man nostalgia. But then there's kids behind us that like never even heard of this movie before or seen one
Exactly.
meme, and now we give them exposure.
Yeah, and it's so cool because like my grandfather, he was a DJ,
I did
and
not know that. This is new
yeah,
information. That's tight.
he had crates upon crates in his closet of all these albums, and I'm going through it, and I'm like, man, I want to hear this one, and he let me and my brother have them all. So that's kind of cool. But then when I think about it now, when there's a song, if it has that feel to it, I really gravitate towards it. Or sometimes when I like a song a lot, I
Mm,
don't realize it was a remake of something else, and I'm
course.
like, when I found, I was like, that's why I love it. That is
Yeah.
exactly why I
Like
love that song.
you hear a chord or like some chords or something
Yeah,
that come
it's
from
just
that,
like anything. It's like
which is basically everything.
Beyonce's first song, the dun, 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 dun. That's when I
Yeah.
became a Beyonce fan off that one.
Cause
That is
you
exactly
are part of the beehive for sure.
I might be in the Navy now. I don't know.
What? Is she even making music though? You mean just like overall representation, like what she bringing to the table?
I don't know. I like Beyonce. When I'm listening to Rihanna, I'm kind of like Rihanna, kind of.
Hey, and she a Billy. She got a Billy by herself. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're right. You're
Billy by
right.
herself.
I mean, no shade to the Beehive. I mean, I'm in the hive. I'm in the back though, but
Yes.
yeah. But
You
no,
in the
when I
bee.
hear certain songs, and then I'll be like, oh, that was a sample of this. No wonder I'm in love with it. Like the
Yeah,
song. I
yeah.
don't know. That's my favorite time frame. 60s, 70s.
I feel that. So
Future.
being that you are a makeup artist, and you could talk a little bit more about that after the game. But
I don't wear makeup though.
being now real life though, I do see you more like, or very simple, like what I mean? Very natural looking looks as opposed to a lot of to be a makeup artist. Most of the time when you see makeup artists, they oftentimes have like, in my opinion, like real dramatic makeup.
Mhm.
But like so being a makeup artist and doing makeup for like productions, and you do makeup for shows and whatever, you just be doing, you be out here moving around, you know what I'm saying? So like, do you feel like your love or your desire that came from makeup had anything to do, any connection with your love for show business in terms of like the biopics and stuff?
No, I don't think I could connect it.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't even know. Well, makeup chose me. I don't even know how I even really got there.
That's real.
But that's another thing when I'm watching these movies. I'm looking at the makeup, the different time frames.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, oh, that's how they was doing it in this period, in the 60s. That's how they was doing it in the 70s versus the 80s. And now I'm looking at it now. I think my favorite makeup is probably from the 60s, actually.
Really?
That look, yeah.
What is the accents or the premier characteristics of like what would you
I
describe
think
it
it was like the white eyeliner and the real pixie kind of lashes on the bottom.
as?
Just a clean face, kind of brows were a little darker. Yeah, I don't know. I
That's
mean, I
what
would wear that look down, but I'm intrigued by it. Like, oh, look at that.
Yeah.
The 80s makeup is trash. Trash. The 80s makeup, they just put blush from here to here, and that was that.
Yeah.
Denise Huxtable, I hate it.
Man.
I'm
But
sure you never even paid attention because you ain't looking at nobody makeup.
I mean, but it's what is interesting or like, you know, impactful to me about what you were just talking about was you can tell when somebody has a creative spirit. It's a matter of what medium they got to use. You know what I mean? So in the same way that you break down a movie and you're looking at the accents of a face, of a look, you know what I'm saying? That's the same way I would look at a video. I mean, look at a movie and look at the scene choice or like the composition of the scene or whatever. Or like how, oh man, that cut was so good. Like that type of stuff. So it's just interesting to me. You know, Jasmine, when she watching or looking at a movie, her thing is the soundtrack. Man, this who they got on this music, like whatever. So I think it's just really interesting.
If I could, let's see if I can tie it together. Like I know back in the 60s and 70s, it had more to do with what you look like sometimes, depending on if you were the lead or not.
Right.
So you had to have a certain look. You know, whether that's right or wrong is not here or there, but yeah, you had to have a certain look. You wanted to look like glamour. That's the 60s too. The gowns and the earrings, the makeup was like glamour.
Yeah.
If you think Diana Ross, she was just kind of like, you know.
That's real. And the thing, I ain't never even like glamour was that time because they was for show. You on stage. Yep. It's like, yeah. Wow. That's mad.
You would never see them without their makeup or anything like that, ever.
Yeah, facts versus today. Where, you know, it's like even the celebrity of that era and watching how celebrities acted and were treated was way crazier in terms of the pandemonium.
And men wore makeup.
The dudes do. I was about to say, like a whole bunch of them actually. You know what I'm saying? So
Lord Richard, he was very smooth.
That's wild. That's wild.
Oh, a little nugget about the movie. I don't know if you want to put this in the movie part. But did you know Whitney Houston was supposed to play in that movie in the 5 Heartbeats?
Get out of here. But what happened?
She was supposed to play the role of Baby Doll.
Okay.
But she said she was like, you know, getting ready to take off. She said the role wasn't big enough for her. And Denzel was supposed to be in the movie as well.
And he said the same thing?
No, it's just timing. Like once they started getting the funding for the movie, he was doing another project.
Oh man!
And that goes back to what we were talking about with these big names in some of the movies, and and it's like,
and it might have throw off the vibes.
Yeah, I think it would have changed the movie altogether if Whitney Houston and Denzel was in it. And Whitney she regrets turning down the role after she saw it.
That is crazy. Man, but you realize like when you listen to something, and that's why I love like podcasts and stuff, because you get to hear some of these people who are like interviews and all that. Like you get to hear some of these people talk about the stories behind some of our favorite projects, and it just makes it a dope situation. Like
and Keenan Ivory Wayans was supposed to help Robert Townsend too with this project.
Yeah,
but he started the In Living Color, so he wasn't able to work on it.
Because he was actually a writer on. He actually helped write the movie, but was supposed to be a part of production. Yeah. Yep. I did hear that.
Organically, stuff comes together and works itself out, and it's just,
bruh. I love it. So that's what I'm saying. We making the moments right now, yeah. Like, oh yeah, remember when they was both on OurCinema? They did that episode of OurCinema, and then she went to go do Rihanna's makeup for her baby reveal, and then
Yep. Yep. What else? Who else I do?
I'm saying. Let me see. Well, but you was already doing Michelle for her 3rd book tour. You had that booked already.
Yeah. Miss Obama, she's so sweet. I love her.
Yeah, excuse me. You know what I'm saying? Miss First Lady.
Yeah. She's so sweet.
She's definitely a dope individual.
Hold on, wait.
And then you got I forgot who the other person was.
Oprah's calling me.
Oh, sorry, my bad. Shh. Hey guys, Oprah's on the phone.
I'm gonna get back to her.
All right. Oh man, she's screaming Oprah calls. She is too big. The Griotsphere gotta shoot your doc, yo. We gotta shoot your documentary, a year in the life. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Of a celebrity MUA.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I think this was a very substantial conversation. It was full of substance. I feel like
Nice.
it was very connective,
Mhm.
if that's a word. Um, but it's a real reason why I brought you on here. You know,
I remember
because
that.
when somebody picks a movie, it's like this. I picked this movie because I've seen this movie a lot. I love this movie, and so we like to play a little game here on Our Cinema called "You Ain't Seen This Movie." So, how the game is going to go, similar to Family Feud, it's going to be like Fast Money, right? You got 25 seconds. It's 4 questions, okay?
Bit under
And it's
pressure.
not like real long explanations. It's real short answer questions.
Okay.
And you got to get at least 3. Because if you can't get at least 3 out of these 4 questions, then as far as I'm concerned, as far as the audience concerned, you ain't seen this movie.
All right.
So, Peace, you ready? Are you ready, Peace?
Yeah.
You
Yes,
sure?
I'm ready.
I want to make sure
Yeah.
that you good
I
because
get
I don't
jammed
wanna,
up under pressure, Jarrell. I get.
like don't feel crazy. Don't it's all good. We gonna make it work. We gonna make it work. It's easy. This is easy money right here. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get 25 seconds on El Cloque, or is it Clocko? I don't know.
Okay.
El
You just
Cloque.
you gonna make that up. Ooh.
All right. You ready? On your
Yeah.
mark, get set, go. Who is director, writer, and actor in this film?
Robert Townsend. I'm not sure if he goes by Bobby or not, though.
All right. What frustrated Duck at the Battle of the Bands?
The Battle of the Bands. What? The Battle of the Bands.
The first competition. That's what that was called. Basically, like the open mic joint. We paused the time. I before gotten ridiculed for question phrasing. What frustrated Duck at their first major performance?
Their first major performance or their open house? I mean, their open mic.
The one wasn't that the first time that they was on stage? The major performance at the open mic?
If you
In the beginning of the movie.
His girlfriend?
No,
His
wrong.
girlfriend
Just because you said. We'll get back to it. What is considered a house of love?
That question is fraudulent.
Nah, I'm gonna tell you that we're gonna get to the answer after this, and I pause the time for you. Okay. What is considered a house of love that don't take much to break?
You said, what is it considered?
What is a house of love that don't take much to break?
Is a heart full of love, and I've learned that it won't take much to break a heart. What is it called?
You said,
what is it called?
What is the word? It's a blank is a house of love. You just was singing it.
Oh, a blank. Oh, a heart.
Yes. What is it? Yes.
It's a house.
Which lead actor also played a hollering king of rock?
A hollering king of rock. Was it Leon?
Okay. All right. Now, friends. Now we're gonna let the time run because we had some discrepancies with the questions. All right. Now, let's go. Who was the director, writer, and actor in the film? You said Robert Townsend. Yes, that is correct.
It is correct.
What frustrated Duck? I called it the Battle of the Bands. That's what the IMDb plot referenced it as, but we're gonna call it an open mic, whatever you want to call it. What frustrated Duck? And it was not his girlfriend. It was the fact that they had the house pianist. That's when he went and pushed them off the stool and started playing. Remember? Right before they started singing that song.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what? I messed up. I was thinking JT, which is Leon's character. You said Duck, and you're right. And he pushed them off the piano.
Okay. And you said what is blank is a house of love that don't take much to break. You said Heart. That was also correct. And which lead actor also played a hollering king of rock? You said Leon. That is also correct. And I will give you a bonus point if you can tell me who he played?
He played Little Richard.
Yes, he did. He played Little Richard Brenneman in his biopic as well. So as far as I'm concerned, and you just got the bonus point, so technically that's still 4 out of 4 because that wasn't even a question. So Peace, as far as I'm concerned, I mean, I already knew this, and I knew you was gonna do good. I don't know why you was nervous. You seen this movie, man? You seen this movie?
I've seen the movie 100 times. I can't believe I switched the characters up. That's why I was like,
it's all good. It's all good. But you know, like, black folks don't never be like, if it's a real prominent character, then we only gonna call that person by that character, even if they play something else. And if you don't, and if it wasn't a prominent character, then you're gonna call the actor and not the character name. It's we don't never be calling people to write what we supposed to. But
you know what? I'm just thinking about this. Leon played 5 Heartbeats. He played Little Richard. He also played in The Temptations as
he was in The Temptations.
David Ruffin.
Yes.
So he might have a thing for this too.
Facts. Well, he played in some other things that was a little interesting. Like he was in Above the Rim.
Yes, Above the Rim.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
Security guy or something.
You said what? Yeah, he was like the security guy, but he was balling in that jump.
Yeah.
He been in a lot of things. That little Download movie. I don't know if you've seen that before. I don't know why they made us watch that in school.
Download.
I don't remember what it was called, but he played like a down low, bro. It was like a
you watching that in school?
Well, it was like an AIDS awareness, I think. That's what the movie was about. But it was just wild. Yeah, you know, it was a time where they ain't care, bro. They ain't had no care or concern about what we was watching. But yeah, so anyway, you seen this movie, man, and I'm glad you did well. I'm glad you did well. So before we get up out, yeah, man, it's all good. It's all good. So before we get up out of here, you want to let the people know, you know, what you got going on, how they can get with you. You know what I'm saying? If they want to get their face beat, what's going on?
Yeah. You can follow me on Instagram. It's Caprice Robinson MUA, which stands for makeup artist. Caprice is CAPRICE. Robinson ROBINSONMUA. That's on Instagram. Yeah. Follow me on there. Send me a message. I got you.
Facts. So can you drop a little bit just to let the folks know that you official? Can you just let them know a little bit, couple of things that you be doing or got going on, man? Because I know, but I want the folks to know just
flex. I do not want to flex, Jordan. I've been blessed and fortunate to do the NBA team, the Wizards dancers for the last 10 years.
Let's get it.
I do brides all over the DMV.
Talk about
do travel. Come get me. I travel.
Yeah, man.
Working on a few movie sets, which is kind of cool. I don't think I'm allowed to say just yet.
I feel you. Hey, she got NDAs out here, bro. I can't really speak on it right now, but you know, just watch the credits and you might see my name pop up. You feel me?
Yeah, see the credits.
Hey man, so but you already know what it is. So when as the Griotsphere continues to grow, man, we start putting our production sets up. Y'all already know what time it is and who gonna be on that set, making sure all the folks is looking their best, making sure this melanin is popping on screen. Yeah, man, I appreciate you, sis, for coming through. I just want to take this moment too, man. Like, I'm talking about since way back. This is a connection that we have as creatives, bro. Like, she understand, like, she get it. If anybody else, she get it. So this creative struggle, this, you know, entrepreneur struggle, all of that, bro. Like, she been around. She been doing this. So she definitely somebody I look up to in this whole space. So of course that's why I had to get you on here and make sure we boom, man. So as y'all saw, Caprice, lover of all things music, biopics, all of that, early 60s, great vibes. We're gonna have to bring her back next season to talk about some more of these super dope musical biopics. And maybe one of the ones that I like more, you know what I mean? So, we are now into our final segment. This segment that I like to call For the Culture, baby. Now, in this segment, I'm going to rate the movie that we spoke about on a scale from 0 to 100 in terms of how impactful and for the culture this particular movie is, okay? So, in terms of the for the culture meter, the 5 heartbeats gets, in my book, I'm going to give it a 54. I'm going to give it a 54. Why I'm going to give it a 54? Because, a 54. I'm going to give it a 54 because as great of a writer as Robert Townsend is, he has developed a lot of super dope and for the culture films. As amazing as the overall cast was, I mean, we saw John Witherspoon in that movie. You know, they had a nice run. It was a nice, well put together film. However, it was one of many, and it just so happened to be the one that wasn't even true. So right around this time, you know, we also got the Temptations. We saw like the Frankie Lyman story, as me and Caprice talked about. It was so many, you know. So many different types of this same type of film. We had the Little Richard story. We also like it was so many, and there's so many great groups, underrated groups, undervalued groups that have gone away and have been forgotten in history. That I just believe that a more for the culture approach would have been to find one of those unsung groups and make a movie about them. Still kind of playing to some of the same elements, because I'm pretty sure that a lot of those same tropes from the characters were present throughout a lot of the groups at that time. So because of that, I can't rate this very high because I feel like it could have been a better approach to it. Not to say it wasn't a great movie. That's not what the For the Culture meter is about. It's about how much this piece of art has impacted the culture. And the reason why I didn't give it lower than that is because this movie really had people believing that the 5 Heartbeats was a group. And if that is not impactful, I don't know what is. However, it's impacting you with the wrong information. And that's not for the culture. So I cannot, in good conscience, rank this highly on the For the Culture meter. But what y'all think? How do y'all feel about it? If y'all think that I'm wrong, y'all think that, you know, this should have been ranked higher or ranked lower, let me know in the comments, man. Because this is about dialogue. I want to have this conversation and keep it going. All right, that's what it's all about. That's what we do here on OurCinema. We bring up these conversations about these movies that people don't want to talk about, but I'm gonna talk about them. I'm gonna bring them right to y'all face every Sunday. Okay. But man, that's all that we have for today. This was fun. Another great movie. Another great week. Stay tuned. Log in. Subscribe. Hit the notification button. All the things that they tell you to do at the beginning, at the end of YouTube videos. Stay tuned in, man. See what we got coming next. Another great movie. I can guarantee that. I can guarantee it's going to be another great movie. What movie it is, got to tune in to see. But until next time, I'm your boy Jarrell the Griot, and this is OurCinema. Blessings and favor.
OurCinema.
OurCinema. It's for the culture, baby.